What is up, my tribe of people? Welcome back to the Pree Da Production YouTube channel. And just a reminder that these are only shortened clips. And if you want to listen to the full podcast, make sure you click the first link in the description below. Alternatively, you can type in Pree Da Podcast in all your audio listening platforms. And make sure you keep on liking and subscribing. And we back, baby.
We talked about all the songs, all the different setups for the songs. And yeah, I actually recorded all that. They blocked out the day for me and I recorded all those videos in one day. We went crazy, took all the outfits there. We just back to back videos. And they're getting edited up right now so that for December I can, you know what I mean, just spray all over the socials, Insta going crazy, TikTok, all that, you know what I mean? Might make it on the YouTube shorts, who knows, but
yo, go to the moon.
Yeah, we're going crazy. So December, a lot of content, whole month takeover. Hoodie season is coming.
You are now listening to Pree Da Podcast with your host, Mujaro.
And we are back from our little break with L. in the building. And thank you for coming on. It's been a great conversation so far. I thought we'd kick it up a notch and, you know, ask some real questions, ask some tough questions. What's it really like living the life of an MC, of a musician, of an artist? So right now you're not signed or currently signed to any, you know, big production record label or any, you know, collective or team. What's it really like trying to make music and trying to, you know, get to that level whilst holding down a 9-to-5 and, you know, working? What's it really like?
What it's really like is a lot of prioritization. Kind of like knowing when you need to prioritize your job, but also knowing when you need to prioritize yourself. You know, like, for me, I'm fortunate enough now that I work from home. So this is like the perfect setup for me where sometimes I'm working and sometimes on my lunch break, I can make a song. Like, especially if I'm just rapping and I'm not trying to like sing or add any like stuff like that and layer up harmonies. If I'm just rapping and it's like just verses,
just sharpening up
the
the tools.
In the lunch break, 40 minutes. Takes me 40 minutes to make a song. So for me, it's all just that balance. It's all about prioritizing. There are times when work has to come first, just naturally. Do you know what I mean? That's when I'm getting paid. You don't want to get fired because you need money to be able to put back into the music. You know what I mean? And that's another thing as well, knowing where music prioritizes in your personal life. Because like you said, as an unsigned artist, how much are you going to really dedicate to your music? Whether it's time, you know, effort, finances, like what are you really going to do to take your music career off the ground, considering that you don't have a label who's thinking of that all day for you? You know what I mean, the thing is, when you got a label, you know, you have the marketing department and they talk to people who make music videos and they holler at producers and then they send you on interviews and they do all those things for you and book you shows and send you on TV. And when you don't have the label, you just have you. So how are you going to try and recreate a buzz or create a buzz at all from zero, just being you? Like, what is the plan? So I think there's a lot of planning that goes into it if you want it to be successful. Do you know what I mean? Like, of course, you could always just drop songs and hit and miss. You might, you know what I mean? You might just have a great song and then somebody just finds it on TikTok and it blows up. But for the majority of people, it's not going to happen. So I prefer to live my life thinking that that's not going to happen and being prepared. And then, you know, if one of my songs blows one day, I could just be surprised and be like, wow, this was fantastic. But you can't be crossing your fingers, waiting for that to happen. So, you know.
Yeah. Like, for example...
man, life, you got to prioritize, got to start investing in yourself if it's important to you. Whether that's the investment of time or finances, you know, you're the one who's got to make that line.
Like a key example of, you know, someone going from 9-to-5 and then, you know, releasing something not even intentional on TikTok and it going crazy. And now that person is a star, but obviously certain things that happen, but, you know, the person I'm talking about is Dre Mac. Remember? I don't want to be with
Dre Mac. Dre
Mac. She was, you know, obviously doing her thing. She was, you know, still making music and she used to be a dancer and dancing a lot. But that one song, she already had like a catalog of songs, but that one song sent her clear, and through that, she already had the talent, she already had the work ethic, she already had the vision to do what she wanted. She was already in that field and doing stuff, but that one song took her somewhere else, or took her to the stratosphere, and then she was like, yes, now people have found me, I could just keep on doing what I've been doing, and all the songs that she released since have slapped. Maybe not as hard as that first one, because, you know, that's like lightning in a bottle, but the other ones, people are like, yo, this is good quality, I'm staying for the ride.
Yeah. That's it. You just gotta let people hear you. So the question really, when you're, you know, unsigned artist, you're a solo artist, you know, even if you're in a group or whatever, but when you're unsigned, the question really is just, how am I gonna get people to hear me? If I feel like me personally, my logic in making a lot of decisions is like, if this is gonna get new people to listen to my music, it's probably something I should do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, there are performances I've done where you might think, I don't fit the crowd, or, you know what I mean? Like, are these people gonna like what I'm bringing? Are they gonna like this vibe? This is maybe not particularly what they listen to. And those same performances where I've come off the stage and people in the crowd are like to me, oh my God, you're amazing, I gotta find your music, and like, people who, F2D, funnily enough, we just did a performance up in Bristol 3 weeks ago. And when we came off the stage, this woman came to me, a lovely white woman, and she was like, honestly, I don't listen to rap music. But that performance was amazing. That was amazing. I just, where can I find your music? And like, that, to me, that's a win. Somebody who doesn't even like this type of music, who doesn't listen to this type of music, but they've come out, they've just seen me just because I've been fortunate enough to get on this lineup and, do you know what I mean, know some people. That's exposure for me. Somebody saying, I don't even like this kind of music, but what you bring to the table, I like that. And it makes me want to listen to that kind of music. It makes me want to listen to you. Yeah. How do I find you? That's a win. So I'm not scared to even go into rooms where people don't listen to what I make anymore. It's about what you bring to the table. You know, I kind of realized as I've gotten further and further in my music career that people can see talent. You know, it's like the X Factor. You know, when we're all at home and we're watching the X Factor, we just know when there's someone on that stage that has the X Factor, that they've got the je ne sais quoi. They have the little different thing. You can't describe it. There's other people on the show who can sing, and they're right, and they're good. You know what I mean? That's still talent, but sometimes you just have a thing. And when people are not blind, just because people are not musicians or people don't make music and they don't mix and master, people have ears. And people just hear things. And when you get a certain amount of like positive feedback, you can't ignore the fact of what people are saying to you. Do you know what I mean? Of course, there's always going to be people who don't like what you did, but anybody who goes out of their way to tell you that something was good, that's fantastic. Like, I did a marketing degree. Positive word of mouth is way harder to achieve than negative word of mouth. If something goes wrong, people want to tell everybody about it. Oh, whack. What mic didn't come on, or like the mic didn't come on and then you was on the stage, and so you just started shouting at the guy like, oh, what's going on? Instead of just rapping through it and performing through it, people will quickly be like, yeah, you was on the stage and that fell apart. Yeah. But when people are good, usually you just come off the stage and you might say to your friend like, oh, that was pretty good, innit? But you don't really say anything to them. So if you've seen them walking through the crowd and you're actually like, yo, excuse me, you were really good. You went out of your way to give me positive feedback. So that means something. Yeah. You know what I mean? When you just think psychologically, that means a lot. So you can't ignore those factors when people start giving you that feedback, man. Ride with it. If you get in it, ride with it. That means you've got something. Keep going.
Yo, facts. That's how it is. If you got something, keep going. And if you got that X factor, you know, no matter how many times you fail or flop or, you know, have a bad performance, something goes wrong, if you keep on going, it will pay off. Like another example is, you've heard of Rap Game, right?
Yeah.
Krypton Conan, right? There's this person that I know, well, I wouldn't say no, but, you know of, you know, an MC in the ends in Manchester called K Rico. Shout out K Rico and that.
Yeah, I remember K Rico.
Yo,
He was hard, wasn't he?
Yeah, bro, he's hard, right? He's hard. And when I first watched this season, right, that season that he was in, I was saying to my girl, yo, K Rico's on there. That's my boy. You know, I've heard him from ends, you know, bare people I know him. I haven't met him like that, but you know, I've seen him a couple of occasions play basketball, saw him on nights out, X, Y, and Z. Yo, that's that guy. Yo, he's gonna kill it. He's gonna kill it. And when it came time to rap in live in front of either Crepton Cone or other people, just in the competition, bruh.
Fumbling.
Crumbled. I was like, yo, what's happened? What? I built you up so much. And this is what happens. I'm like, damn, it got to him. And, you know, maybe it did. Maybe, you know, the lights were too bright and there was a lot of pressure. Because he had been doing it for a long time. So I was happy he was on Rap Game. I was like, there was no one else more deserving than him to have that opportunity. But, you know, it didn't quite work out. And he crumbled on like more than one occasion. It was one of them where he couldn't carry on the conversation because, you know, people saw the talent when he was just by himself and coming in and spitting some bars, but, you know, freestyling and, you know, performing in front of people, it was tough for my man then. But luckily he stuck through it. He didn't let that, you know, dissuade him and change up or anything like that or quit. You know, he carried on. He's like, you know, I'm going to dust myself off and I'm going to release a banger. And he released a banger like a couple of weeks ago and it's hard. I was like, yo. Check him out. It's the latest song. I can't remember what it's called, but it's hard.
Yo, make a move and wine and dip. You ain't never seen a style like this. Rock your back to your spine and quick control. Can you be my miss? Yeah. Well out to the vibes and stuff. Let me see you wine and catch. Put on your ears and put on your frack. Show me, my girl, where you got?
It's different. It's not like hard MCing, but it's like, and I wouldn't say it's like more, do you know, like the old school, like, Code Your Funds and, you know,
that vibe.
Young Bane, a little bit like that, but, you know, something different.
Bro, Bashman UK,
flex. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's similar to that, and I love that era. That era is, you know, Fine Wine and.
That was my uni era, so I was club all then.
Catching wines for days, bro. Yeah, but, you know, that's a lesson to people. You know, look at K Rico, look at what he's done. You know, he flopped on a big stage, but he, you know, got back together, you know, recalibrated and stuck through it again. 100%. So I wanted to ask you, like, what would you say your musical inspirations of? Who are the MCs, you know, either past, present, or, you know, some people that people don't even know about? Who are those people who, you know, who inspire you and think, yo, what have they got? I'd like to have some of that, or I would like to get to that level.
I think I'm usually inspired by people who are like relatively self-sufficient. Like I probably have this like weird control complex. I like being in control of what I'm doing because, like, you know what I mean? When I'm hearing something, I'd rather just fix it myself instead of trying to describe to the engineer what I want. I'm like, if I've got the skills of the engineer, I could just fix it. So I tend to look at like artists and performers who are like multifaceted in loads of areas. So you take people like J. Cole, do you know what I mean? You're getting bars, but then man's also producing half the songs and man's producing songs for other people. You look at people like Kanye, you rapping hard, then you producing and you have a whole catalog. You look at people like Dave, you're rapping and you're killing it, but people don't even know you're making the beats half the time as well. So it's like those people who are like, have both ends on lock, and it's like you're making decisions about where you want to go. Sometimes you just want to write and you want someone else to produce it.
Yeah.
Sometimes someone else likes your production and you just produce for them. So, but the idea of being able to move through different areas, different roles within music, not just being the artist all the time. Sometimes, you know, being able to be the producer, or in my case, you know what I mean, mixing, mastering my own stuff and all that kind of stuff. Like, so I tend to like look at those artists, definitely people who like bar a lot. Then, you know, when we think females, I think Nicki.
Of course.
If somebody said to me, what is the hardest female verse of all time? I was just having this conversation the other day. I think I have to give it to Nicki on Monster.
Really? Damn.
Nicki Minaj on Monster went crazy. There's nobody, first of all, there's nobody who don't know that. And you gotta think, she did that on a track, pre-album, on a track with Kanye West and Jay-Z. That's some crazy people to be on a track with, and everybody talks about your verse.
Yeah. And a female rapper back then.
What? Oh my God. What? Yeah, Nicki went crazy. And I've been a tongue out of my belt. What? Crazy.
I mean, to be fair.
So yeah, definitely. Pardon?
To be fair, all these bitches are her sons, so you know if you say Nicki Minaj,
you know what I'm saying.
If you say Nicki Minaj, you can't go wrong if you're inspired by her, because you know.
Yeah, Nicki really went crazy.
She did her thing, and she's still doing her thing.
And Nicki's been barring as well, so that's like, you know, like when people ask me about Cardi, I like Cardi's music, but we all know that Cardi has writers, so don't get twisted. Cardi writes some, but some other people also write some of Cardi's music. And for me, as a rapper, I pride myself on the fact that I write my bars. Okay. Do you know what I mean? So Cardi's cool, and I love Cardi's music. I listen to it, but like as an artist, I couldn't say artistically I aspire to be like her. Again, just because I pride myself on being like, I wrote this. Do you know what I mean? Whether you loved it or you hate it, I wrote that. That was my bars. Whether you thought it was smart, stupid, you heard it before, I wrote it. So I would say artistically, female-wise, I'll point more in the Nicki direction. But I still love Cardi. Cardi's got bops. Like, don't let, you know, people sometimes having their bars written for them or whatever take away from anything. Like, when I was younger, Bow Wow was my favorite guy. Bow Wow didn't write half them bars. The Brat was writing bars. Like, JD was writing bars. Like, there are a lot of artists who don't do that. And I still love those artists, but just in terms of my inspiration for inspiring me as an artist, not just music that I like as a person, I tend to lean towards people who are more hands-on with what they're doing, who are more, all right, cool, I wrote this, or I produced this, or, do you know what I mean? I connected that. People who, like, understand live instrumentation and things like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, when I see Dave, and man's coming out with the guitar, and man's got drum line, because I'm thinking of it like a producer, like, on a score, this is amazing, like live music, to be able to take what you made on an album and translate it to a live performance that doesn't sound exactly like your album, because it shouldn't. You're not supposed to just play your song and rap over it. You're supposed to give us the performance rendition. So I respect the artists who understand the production enough to be able to be ingrained in that performance rendition and give us that show that we see. Do you know what I mean? Like, Beyonce does that all the time, even though she don't write. Obviously, we're talking about completely different artists, but being able to understand your music so well that you hear other things and breakdowns and chop parts, and that musicality is what's inspirational for me. So the people who have that are the people I'm like, yo!
Because those people are the undeniable, right? You can put them anywhere with any type of music and they'll be able to float. They'll be able to, you know, not even float. They'll be able to swim. They'll be able to do backstrokes. They'll be able to do breaststroke. They're doing everything.
You got it. It's just that understanding of music is different. Do you know what I mean? I feel like there's being an artist, do you know what I mean? There's going to the studio, there's doing all that, and then there's really like understanding the music, loving the music, being embedded in music, like little things like knowing how to play an instrument. Because if you know how to play an instrument, maybe that means that you understand chords, or you understand chord progressions, or you understand, you know, when you're not in key, and you understand how to make harmonies because you know how the layers need to be stacked. When you understand those things, it tends to sound better when it comes out. Do you know what I mean? Because you just emptied out everything that was in your mind without like someone else being like, all right, cool, you got a stack, and then maybe you got like 3 people's minds all melded together. Sometimes that is still like perfect, because I like to be self-sufficient. I admire the people who can kind of like meld all of that from just them. Yeah. Those are, like, my aspirations.
Okay, that's good. If you have this type of mentality and this skill set, right? You're able to understand music. You're able to, you know, layer stuff. You're able to loop stuff. You're able to make things efficient, right? You're able to transform things and edit things in such a way that you prefer, right? So it'll be great to have your take on, you know, what's going on in this, you know, music industry today, right? We all know about the, you know, the upcome of AI, right? Artificial intelligence, for those who don't understand, right? Right now, you can go on YouTube and you can hear Hit 'Em Up by Biggie Smalls.
Mad.
Craziness. And it actually sounds lit. It sounds hard. I'm like, yo, you have this deceased person, rest in peace, singing a diss track to himself from another artist that was dissing him. Like, it's crazy. That's crazy. What do you think of this? Like, new world where people are making whole albums with Drake with Future inspired lyrics, or with, I don't know, Childish Gambino, and I don't know, Heady Wireless. Random artists on different people's songs. Like, it's the wild, wild west at this moment in time. What do you think?
It is. Do you know what? There's pros and there's cons with AI, because AI does a lot of things also, like, for musicians that is like out of this world, that makes music more accessible to everybody and the creation of music more accessible to everybody, right? So, like, from that perspective, of course, I have this appreciation for AI. Like, I've got some pieces of software that I use when I'm going to put out something on Spotify. Like, when I'm going to put out a project, I've got a piece of software that I use that helps with my mastering, and that uses AI. Because what it does is, you give it a reference track, it listens to that reference track, how it's mixed down, then it takes the settings from that track and puts it on your track, so your track sounds mixed down like that one does.
Oh, yeah.
Now, if you think about the fact that labels are paying people 10 grand to mix a song, 20 grand, 50 grand to mix an album, to master an album, and the person that you paid 50 grand to master the Kendrick album, I can put in Kendrick as a reference track and have my song mixed down the same way as a value for 50 grand, but I paid like £30 for the 1 month subscription. You think about like how much more accessible music can become to people, like, and making music that sounds quality. Obviously, you're not in the biggest studio or whatever, but you can still give people something from your home setup or from your little setup or from whatever it is you got. So in that aspect, you know, love AI, respect AI, but then there's this other aspect that kind of takes the artistry and makes it easier to imitate. And that obviously just devalues what we do, because if somebody could just write bars and then take your voice and put it there, that's good for them, maybe because they're getting views and showing your talent. But like, what does that do for me? Now my voice is just rapping somebody else's song. What if that blows up? How do I get paid for that? Do I sue somebody? Like, what's the setup for that? So it kind of encroaches, I guess, on, like, you know, that creative license you have when you're an artist, that, right, what I put out, I'm going to be careful with it. I'm going to be very mindful with it. I'm going to, you know, be intentional with the things I put out. You being intentional with what you put out could go to waste if somebody makes a song with your voice more popular than any song you put out, and that becomes the most popular song you got out. It's not even your song.
Yo,
this
is literally what I was saying to KM Tunes, the last artist I had. I was saying, yo, do you know how, like, you know, artists go on like hiatuses where you don't hear anything from them? Like, you know, Frank Ocean, you know, drops an album, disappears for 10 years, comes back, you're like, wow, what the hell's this guy been? Right? Imagine, you know, there's that gap in that market for people who want to listen to tunes that, you know, sound a little bit like that, or genres that is in that area. But if someone can just take Frank Ocean's voices, right, put it on new beats, new song, new lyrics, and then bring that out to people and be like, oh yeah, AI, Frank Ocean like music, here's a playlist on Spotify, here's this and that. Obviously, you know, they're starting to, you know, labels and Spotify are starting to clock onto stuff like that and cracking down, which is good.
Yeah.
But at the start of the year, people just releasing, you know, covers of, you know, dead deceased artists and, you know, record breaking artists, and, you know, people are like, yo, where's this money going for? You know, who's this going to? And X, Y, and Z. And that, you know, crowds the market. So people can't get any exposure. They'll be listening to, you can say, fabricated artists or imitations, whilst the artists who are organic, who are real living people, aren't given a space, or, you know, aren't given the exposure because they're all crowded by AI generated covers. So
yeah, of the people that we already liked.
Exactly. So it's kind of peak. If it ever gets that bad, which it can do, but hopefully, you know, in my opinion, you know, we can get some guidelines like what you're talking about AI using as a tool to help things speed up in terms of, okay, I've got this preset, let me load it up. You know, it's me. I've already done this work. Let me just, you know, get that template or do X, Y, and Z and, you know, mix it down to X, Y, and Z. So yeah, it's definitely got its ups and its downs for sure.
Pros and cons for sure.
So let's get back to you. What is next for L. Dot? what is next? Have you got a new project? Have you got a new single coming out?
Next for L Dot? Yeah. So December, I am putting out another project. It's going to be a different kind of project. It's actually going to be a visual project.
Okay.
So what I'm doing is I'm dropping a bunch of freestyles, but all with visuals. So I'm going to be uploading to my social media. It's kind of like, for me, like a social media takeover kind of thing. So I'm going to be uploading 3 times a week for December, for the whole of December, 3 times a week. I'm giving 3 videos, 3 freestyles. Every freestyle's got different themes. And the whole project is actually called Hoodie Season.
Oh, so that's why. Here's me thinking it was like something scissor related.
Nope, the project is called Hoodie Season, so this is the logo for the project.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
liking the hoodie.
Sneaky promo, the whole
Yo,
interview.
does it come in orange by any chance? I'm after a couple of.
Yeah, I got the orange right over there. I got it in a lot of colours.
Hey, yo, I need to.
There's a lot of different. I mean, blue, browns, white, grey, orange. Every single freestyle, I'm wearing, the custom hoodies.
Jeez.
You know what I mean? Logos on, and we're giving people high quality visuals. So this kind of goes back to what we're saying about, that prioritizing and that investment and, that outsourcing. So like, I like to be self-sufficient, but I realize that there are definitely things I can't do. When it comes to the music realm, I try and be very self-sufficient. But when I step outside of that, I start to look at, all right, cool, outsourcing. Who can I outsource to out of one, either who's really good at this or who do I know? Because I like working with people that I know and respect. Because then it's like, this is mutual for both of us. Like,
yeah.
I put you on, you put me on. We can do this all together. We all need to go to the moon. So my friend that I was talking about, the one who was shouting at me about biting the microphone, his brother is actually part of like video production group, and they've got studios. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to link up with them and them. I'm going to tell them I want to shoot all these music videos. Had a meeting with them, kind of like went in their space, saw all the different props that they have, all the different chairs, all the different setups, because they film podcasts and stuff like that. Actually, they do a lot of stuff now. Like lately, Harry Pinero's been there, Poet was there the other day.
Jeez.
The RTM podcast they film there now. So yeah, they're doing bits right now, and obviously it's people I know. So two birds, one stone. It's good for you. It's good for me. Put money back in the man them's hands instead of hiring strangers and what else. So yeah, linked up with them, went to the studio, had a little walkthrough. We talked about all the songs, all the different setups for the songs. And yeah, I actually recorded all that. They blocked out the day for me and I recorded all those videos in one day. We went crazy, took all the outfits there. We just back to back videos. And they're getting edited up right now so that for December I can, you know what I mean? Just spray all over the socials, Insta going crazy, TikTok, all that. You know what I mean? Might make it on the YouTube shorts. Who knows? But
go to the moon.
Yeah, we're going crazy. So December, a lot of content. Whole month takeover. Hoodie season is coming. I'm also thinking about dropping potentially a single from that.
Okay, so you're saying what, the best one?
So I'm saying, hey, the best one is crazy because. Yeah, I'm just going to say it. They're all hard. They're all hard. I was going to say, and they're all different. They're all different because one thing that was important for me is that, one thing important for me as an artist is not boxing myself in. So if you look at the music that I've got on Spotify at the moment, it's all kind of like R&B based, very like melodic led. And that's because that's what I like to listen to a lot of the time. So when I decided I was going to put music out, I wanted to put out music that had replay value, like as far as I'm concerned. And sometimes when I listen to just straight rap, as much as I love rap, I don't repeat that song the same way like when I'm feeling R&B and I'm in my heart. Put it repeat
slow
again.
jumps back.
I'm an R&B kid, you know what I mean? Deep down in my heart. So for me, it was like, let me try and blend my love for R&B with my rap qualities. And that's kind of like the music I've put out so far. So if people looked at that and they've never seen any of these videos of me in a group or never seen anything else, they might not know that I be rapping. So my idea is I don't want to box myself in. So I'm going to give people loads of different content, loads of different genres. I've got a Mapiano in there. I've got grime in there. I've got drill in there. I've got R&B in there. I've got rap in there.
Hey, can't be spoiling it too soon. Jeez.
I've got everything in there. So people are going to experience me sitting in a bunch of different pockets, a bunch of different flows, bunch of different videos, all high quality visuals. I'm bringing the quality this December. Hoodie season, stay tuned.
Yes, hoodie season is fully in swing by the time this comes out. So,
about to warm it up.
Before we, say our goodbyes and, leave the people with something to think about and something to take home, I thought, before we wrap it up, let's play a quick game of, guess the lyric. It's going to be a new segment I'm going to do every time I have an artist on, where at the end of the show, we're going to talk about, can you name the last bar of this line and who was it made by and, what song it's called. So, this is just a quick fire round. I've got 5 lines and the last line, I want you to guess. Okay.
Alright, so I'm doing the next line of the song.
Yes, so I'm going to say da 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 dot 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 dot.
Got you. And then I fill in the blank. And I got to who the artist is as well.
Yeah. Cause I'm not obviously not gonna make it too hard for you. But if you don't get 1 or 2, I'm gonna be disappointed.
I'll be disappointed in myself. So let's see what we can do.
Okay, so the first one. If I told you that a flower bloomed in a dark room, dot dot dot. Come on, you should know this. You should know this.
If I told you that a flower bloomed in a dark room.
Come on.
Nah.
You said this guy's name. That's the one clue I'm gonna say.
Wait, what was the clue?
Said, you've said this guy's name in this podcast.
Dave.
Nah. I'll give you one more try.
See, because I feel like I'm cheating already because I'm not even finishing the line. Like, I'm already getting disappointed in myself. Like, what's going on? If I told you a flower bloomed in a dark room, who else is name did I say? Now you got me. J. Cole?
Close, but no cigar. It's Kendrick Lamar, Poetic Justice. If I told you that a flower bloomed in a dark room, would you trust it?
Oh my days! Yeah, okay. Now I know you're talking about the song. Yeah.
Come on now. Okay.
All right.
Next one. Out on bail, fresh out of jail. California dreaming. Soon as I stepped on the scene, dot dot dot.
I'm hearing Hoochie screaming for money and alcohol. The life of a West Side. Yeah, come on,
Tupac and Dr. Dre, California love. Come on. If you didn't get that, I would have been like, yo, what are you doing?
Hey, come on. Yeah. You gave me the nice amount as well. In the beginning, I was already thinking, I think I know this one.
But as soon as you see, soon as I step on the scene, you already know the rest of the song. Calm, right.
You got one.
Another one. You got 1 out of 2. Good, 50-50. Right. Here's a murder rap to keep y'all dancing with a crime record like Charles Manson. AK-47 is the tool. Dot 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 dot. I'll say it one more time. Here's a murder rap to keep y'all dancing with a crime record like Charles Manson. AK-47 is the tool. Dot dot dot.
Nah, this is giving me something like from that same era though.
Yeah, it is.
Like, I know it's from back there. I can tell by the way I can tell by the bars, but I do not know. Like, I could guess, because if we're talking about that era, I don't know, I could guess it'd be like Biggie.
Nah.
Like,
it was NWO or NWA.
NWA. Okay.
Straight out Compton. Here's a murder rap to keep y'all dancing with a crime record like Charles Manson. AK-47 is the tool. Don't make me act a fool.
Okay.
That's the line.
NWA.
So you're one for 3.
1 out of 3 now, man.
Let's see if you can get this next one.
Yeah.
My Adidas walked through concert doors and dot 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 dot.
Nah, where you getting this from? My Adidas?
This is going way back before Straight Out Compton.
Are we talking like Run DMC?
Hey, you did it, Run DMC.
Because they were the Adidas guys, isn't it?
Adidas, that's it. So you're good.
I didn't know what the rest of the line was though. What song was it?
Said it's called My Adidas.
Oh, it was the Adidas song, right?
Yeah, my Adidas walk through concert doors and roam all over Coliseum floors.
Okay.
It's a bar.
I know the tune vaguely. Probably not enough the bars from it, but yeah, Run DMC.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, they were going crazy on that.
So we got the last one. Cool. Let's see if we can get this. You're what? 2 for 4?
Yeah, 2 out of 4. Can I make it 3 out of 5?
Yeah, and if you do, in my opinion, that's a win. If you get more than half of them, that's a win. That's
why. A win.
Yeah, that's why I had to, take 5. Take 5.
Yeah.
Okay. Because karma comes back to you hard. ... It's hard. I'll give you a clue. She's a female rapper.
Is it Meg Thee Stallion?
Nah, no. I'll give you another chance. It's not this era. She is a... She's after Queen Latifah. She's an icon in her own right, but people only really talk about her in relation to one album. Like she's referenced. She's referenced by J. Cole.
Oh wait! No! It's Lauryn Hill.
Yeah,
it's Lauryn Hill.
Miss Lauryn Hill, Lost Ones.
It's Lauryn Hill. Yeah.
Because karma comes back to you hard. You can't hold God's people back that long. Come on, Miss Lauryn Hill, Lost Ones. Yo, L-Dot, you got 3 out of 5. That's a win in my book. Congratulations, you are the first contestant on Guess That Lyric.
That means right now I'm number 1, so everybody who come on this after this, remember you gotta beat me.
Yes.
I'm the high score right now. It's not that high, but I'm number 1.
Exactly. Thank you for coming. Before we head off, have you got any last messages, last words you need to let people know about the socials and them things there? It's your chance.
Yeah, obviously the socials. Follow me on the gram at _IODOT. TikTok is at I am L-Dot. YouTube, if you just search up L-Dot as well, you should find me on YouTube. And just stay tuned, to be honest. The best place is probably Instagram, because I'm a little Instagram fan. So that's my platform. So that's where I like to go to. That's where my people are at. And yeah, other than that, it's hoodie season, guys. Stay tuned. It's about to go crazy. I've got loads of things coming this December. Trust me, you're going to like at least one, if not more. So stay tuned. High quality visuals. They're coming.
Good. Well, that's been this episode of Pree Da Podcast. And thank you, L-Dot, for coming through. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to, our conversations, and see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Yeah, shout out to you as well. Later.
Said I wake up every morning, pray to God that I'm fixing up. Hope I'm never slipping up. Hear the money calling, need my peace to start getting up. Feeling like I'm blessed, but it came with a bit of luck. Feeling like you stressed, then the tension starts to fill you up. Need an intermission, yeah, they ain't the same lane as us. Come from different sticks, yeah, they're not the same range as us. They cop the pleas and top of teas, they're not hitting range with us. Keep